Hello.
Hello.
We are here again. What we are talking about?
Today we're going to talk about the most popular topic.
It's really controversial issue in Bulgaria now.
Not just Bulgaria, I think it's in Eastern Europe.
I saw only Bulgarian people's social media and they post a lot.
Yeah.
We are talking about the vaccine issue.
Facebook was full.
Yeah.
Yeah. We are going to speak in English because Jay speaks English.
So the current issue in Bulgaria is, should we get the vaccine?
They just started a big list of restrictions, so you can't go in anywhere, pretty much anywhere, without a green pass or a green certificate, which means you need to get vaccinated or you need to have a PCR test. And then you can get this green pass. It's a European thing.
What the government says is you need to get the vaccine in order to sustain a normal social life.
Yep. So you're only allowed to go to shop for food and go to a pharmacy and I think to a hospital. So you can't do anything else if you don't have a green pass or a PCR.
Basically, what we want to talk is not our opinion. We are not going to say which one is right, which one is wrong.
Yes.
But I just want to show or deliver the news from Korea and how Korean people are dealing with that issue. That's what I want to share with you. So we are not judging you guys. So please don't attack us. Okay.
We are just going to talk about the current situation in Bulgaria and the current situation in Korea because that's the two countries we have the most experience with.
Today is October 22nd. Today is October 22nd. And based on the statistic, the current case in Bulgaria is...
There were 4,816, I will put the number here, 4,816 new coronavirus cases, confirmed cases yesterday in Bulgaria. And how about in Korea?
In Korea, yesterday, October 21st, the case was 1,440 cases. It will be here. Because the population is different. In Korea, we are a little bit more than 50 million people, and in Bulgaria, there are a little bit less than 7 million people. So there are about the 7 times some difference, but the case number is around 3 times more in Bulgaria. So which means the Bulgarian situation is 21 times serious than Korea.
21 times more serious?
Yeah, 21 times more serious than in Korea.
Wow.
What about death? The death number in Korea is 16 yesterday. 16 people, sadly, they died because of COVID. What about Bulgaria?
In Bulgaria, 120 people died from coronavirus yesterday.
Okay, and the death number, the difference is around 7 times. So 7 times more people died than the people who died in Korea. And again, there is a population difference. So in Korea, there are 7 times more people than Bulgaria. So basically, the situation is 49 times more serious than in Korea.
He's the math guy. I can't do that math in my head. It's too complicated.
So that is the current situation. Okay. What about the vaccination rate?
Okay.
What about the vaccination rate?
Let's talk about that.
In Bulgaria, the vaccination rate, we are talking about the fully vaccinated. Some vaccines, they need only 1 dose. Some vaccines, you need to take 2 doses.
We're talking about the fully vaccinated people. So fully vaccinated people in Bulgaria are 20% of the population.
But this vaccination rate is based on Google. But maybe, depending on the source of the statistics, the data can be different. But we are from the same source. The vaccination to the fully vaccinated people in Korea is 66.8%.
That's a lot because actually Korea started later than Europe, right?
Yeah, we started from February.
Well, at least later than Bulgaria. I'm not sure about all of Europe, but...
And we are doing it faster. Korean people are doing it faster.
Yeah, pali. That's the Korean way.
Now, but what we are talking about is how Korean people are thinking about vaccination and how Bulgarian people, they are thinking about vaccination.
I have a question for you.
Yes.
So when the vaccine was first introduced in Korea, what were people's reactions? The majority of people.
Unlike Bulgaria, Korean system is like based on the appointment. You have to book your vaccination, the time and where. There's an online booking system, and once the government opened the system down because everybody wanted to get the vaccine.
So everybody just registered right away.
Of course, because of too much traffic, too many people tried to get the vaccine. So we divided some systems. Like in the first period, old people only. Old people, they could get the vaccination because they are a risky group.
I remember that. Yeah.
And later, the more younger people, they could get the vaccination. But
what is the youngest?
Now the vaccination is available from 12 years old in Korea.
Okay. All right.
From 12 years old, kids can get the vaccine now.
So are they getting vaccinated, the kids?
Yeah.
Oh wow! So the parents are not scared to vaccinate their
kids. This is the issue. How Korean people are thinking about the vaccination. Are they scared? When the vaccine was released in the beginning, Korean people were worried about the side effect a lot. But as time goes, many people started to get the vaccination, and they saw that not that many side effects were appearing. So, but they started to trust the vaccine. And another reason the Korean people want to get the vaccination is they want to go back to their normal life.
Yeah, that's a good reason.
Because of the COVID, the whole economy was very in a terrible situation. Shops, especially small businesses, they started to fail. And even Korean government, they started to give money to the small businesses.
Was there an initial closing like in Bulgaria or other European countries? They closed down everything. They shut down everything. And
no, we didn't have. We have never had a lockdown.
Okay.
But because people, they were worried about catching the disease, catching the virus, they didn't go to restaurant, to cafe. They didn't want to meet people. So the small businesses, especially cafe and restaurants, they started to fail.
And here in Bulgaria, actually, at first, everybody stayed home because people were scared of the virus. But later on, they started to go out and go to the restaurants and go to cafes and be outside because they were just sick of staying indoors, and they started to doubt everything.
The reason that the Korean people got the vaccination was they trusted the government. Based on the law, I don't know if Bulgaria has the same law, but if you guys follow the European law, then you must have.
Yeah, we usually do.
Based on the law, if there is any relation between the side effect of the government.
The side effect of the government.
If you have any symptom from the vaccine and that is related to the vaccine, then the government, they compensate.
Really?
Yes.
So they actually give you money?
Yes, money.
Okay.
Big amount of money. They give money. To the person.
But is there any what people are worried about the most in Bulgaria at the moment is some really serious side effect like death.
In that case also, the government to give money
But
to
was there
the
such a
family.
case?
I don't know the exact statistic, but there are some cases. In Korea, we also have like a CDC, KCDC, like in America, and they investigate. And if there is a relation and they admit that this side effect is because of the vaccine, then the government pays.
So it's a separate check from the American one. So even if the American CDC says something is okay or it's not related, the Korean CDC independently checks this again.
Every country, they have their own independent, organization. When the vaccine company want to sell their vaccine to each country, they have to pass the safety check.
Okay.
Of each country, and each country, they take the responsibility. This vaccine is safe to give to my people.
Okay.
They guarantee. That's why they can sell those vaccines to those countries.
Maybe.
European Union as well.
Maybe that's why Bulgaria doesn't trust the vaccine.
But it is approved by EU.
Yes.
Right?
But I think most Bulgarian people, contrary to Korean people, most Bulgarian people really don't trust the government and really think the government is just trying to make money.
That's what I actually worry about. I think the main reason that the Bulgarian people don't want to get the vaccination is that they don't trust the government.
Yeah.
They don't know they can die. They may die because of the vaccine. The rate is really low, like 1 or 2 per million. In that case, they worry. If I am unlucky, then I may die because of that. Then should I? The most important thing is, in my opinion, and this is how Korean KCDC decides. If the benefit of the vaccination is bigger than the risk, then they approve. So basically what I want to say is, getting the vaccination, is it by your choice? Is it human right to choose to take the vaccine or not? I think yes, it is a human right, but always you have to think that the freedom must have the responsibility. It must be with the responsibility as well.
Do they believe in Korea? Do they believe the conspiracy theories?
No, not at all. No, not at all.
Besides the joke, because this is kind of a joke now, but do a lot of Korean people doubt the whole situation? Like what Bulgarian people usually say is the virus was created by humans and it was released as a kind of experiment, or it was released by mistake. And the vaccine is now being released, so the pharmaceutical companies and the vaccine companies, they can make more money. Do you guys think or doubt like that, or
no?
There's no such thing.
No. Even if that is true, what are you gonna do?
I have another question. Do people in Korea actually care about where the virus came from, where the vaccine came from? How long has the vaccine been tested? How safe is it? And do they actually care to find out the details?
In the beginning, yes. In the beginning, we cared about where the vaccine started, where the disease started, where the virus started. And before it was called the COVID, it was called the Wuhan virus. But now everybody use the term COVID.
Yeah.
Or corona, in Korea we call it coronavirus.
Similar to Bulgaria.
Yeah. And about the vaccine, Bulgarian people think it's not tested enough.
Yeah.
It's not safe yet.
Yeah.
That is your choice. If you think it's not safe and you don't want to get the vaccination, then it is your call. But you have to take the responsibility. You cannot go anywhere. You are blocked from all the social life.
This is what people say is discrimination now.
It can be discrimination, but the government must think about the economy. But the government think, of course, human life is important, but the chance of getting the serious side effect, again, is really low. And that's how Korean government thinks as well. Every vaccine has their own side effect, and the vaccination gives more benefit than the danger it may have. That's why the Korean government, they approve that, and the other countries, they also approve that.
And so now Korean people don't really, they don't keep arguing on Facebook like
Arguing? No.
Bulgarians
No,
and
no,
fighting.
no arguing.
There's a big separation now. Two extreme sides. Most people are in two extreme sides. One side says you have to be responsible, you have to take the vaccine, you have to do it for the benefit of everybody, the economy, the country, the health of everybody. But the other side says no, everything around the virus, everything about the vaccine is just an experiment, so we need to be in control of what we put into our bodies, and we should not agree to just be tested on. They're arguing a lot on Facebook, and there's even protests outside in person. There's gatherings against the vaccine and the measures, actually, because they say it's discrimination. So you guys,
Korean people,
you don't have such protests and
protest? No. There may be some people who has that opinion, but there's no argument as far as I know.
And this was the same case for masks and distancing and all of the measures. So Korean people didn't fight any of the measures, right? Any of the... You guys didn't officially, publicly fight. Okay.
No.
Everybody was on board.
Yeah. You sound like Korean government is like a dictators, but no.
People agree with the government in this case, right?
You also you need to know Korean people, they really fought to gain the real democracy against the dictatorship in 1980s, and we are so proud of that. Korean people think they know what is right, what is wrong.
They trust the government because they put the government there, right?
Yeah.
So they believe the government is there to serve them.
So I think it is the government's responsibility to make people to convince.
I can see that. When we were in Korea, actually, I could see the information campaign was really strong. There were posters, there were writings, there was information everywhere. Even the doctors, they kept to one opinion. The problem in Bulgaria right now is the doctors are posting on Facebook and telling their patients their own opinion, which sometimes it's backed by a real case, sometimes it's just their opinion. So it's like this. I heard from my friend, her doctor said, so we can't actually find out if it's the government's fault and they're actually doing things like this, or if that is just hearsay and somebody told somebody and the story got changed. So people are confused. They don't know what to believe. And I think there's not enough information coming from the government. They keep changing their measures really quickly and really chaotically.
So yeah, government is a problem. Again, we are not but trying to convince you, or we are not judging people by the vaccination. But this is how Korean people think. Right? And that's it.
Well, tell us what you think in the comments, and please don't fight, okay? Let's have a nice discussion under the comments. Share what you think.
Thanks for watching.
Yep.
Like,
thanks for watching.
comment, and subscribe, and see you later. Bye-bye.
Bye.